Hello and welcome back. For this video we'll be discussing word problems and showing you a few examples. We're only going to use one variable for these problems. First problem, contractor purchases ceramic tile to remodel a kitchen floor. Each tile costs $4 and the adhesive and grouting material costs $17.82. If the contractor is charged a total of $545.82, how many tiles, this is important here, how many tiles did the contractor purchase? So we're going to let N stand for number of tiles purchased. So the first thing I want to point out here is we have a total. We have total dollars. So total dollars is going to equal dollars plus dollars. That's our general equation. Well, where do those dollars come from? Some of them come from the grouting material cost, and others come from the cost of each tile. So all I'm going to do is start substituting some information. So the first thing I'm going to substitute here is the total cost, and that is $545.82, and that is going to equal the cost of the materials, which is just a plain $17.82, plus now the cost of the tiles, $4 each. So that means $4 times however many tiles I have, which is going to be N. So all I got to do is solve this problem. First thing I'm going to do is subtract $17.82 from both sides. So I'm going to take this, move it to that side with subtraction, and I end up with 528. Now remember, this cancels out when I move it over to the other side. I bring down my 4N. Now I'm going to divide both sides by 4, and I end up with N, or number of tiles, equaling 132. We have $80.75 to buy one pair of pants for $32.50, so the cost of one pair of pants is $32.50. And as many t-shirts as we can buy for $8.25 each. So each shirt is going to cost $8.25, and I want to see how many of those I can buy. So write an equation and solve it that represents the situation. Of course, you want to show us a reasonable answer. So my total cost is going to come from pants, or cost of pants, plus cost of shirts. So all I got to do now is start substituting some information. So my cost here is $80.75. My pants have a straight cost of $32.50, and that's not a variable cost, so it's just a one-time fee. And my shirts, now I did not define a variable for shirts, but the question is to write, or we want to find out how many shirts we can buy. So I'm going to let N stand for the number of shirts I can buy. And I know that each one costs $8.25, so the cost for the shirts will be $8.25 times N, which is my number of shirts. All I gotta do is solve this now. Reverse PEMDAS, I'm going to use my 32 and move it this way, but I'm going to move it over as a subtraction. 80.75 minus 32.50, and that will leave me with $48.25. And that's going to equal $8.25 N. And the next thing I want to do is divide both sides by $8.25. So $48.25 divided by $8.25 leaves me with about 5.84. And this is repeating. And they do want to know a reasonable answer here. Now, some people might want to call that 6 shirts. But the problem with that is we only have $80.75 to buy them. So we can't actually buy 6 shirts. So the most amount of shirts we can actually buy would only be 5. That we have 2 cars, they're traveling to the same destination, and that destination is 520 miles away. First car is traveling at 45 miles per hour for in hours, and the second leaves 3 hours later and travels 60 miles per hour. So since they're going to the same destination, and we want to know how many hours does the second car have to drive before catching up, one thing we need to realize is when the second car does catch up, both cars have gone the same distance. So that means that the distance of car 1 is going to equal the distance of car 2. Now, since I don't know how far they're actually going, I'm going to rewrite that as rate times time for car 1 and rate times time for car 2. Now, I do know that the first car went 45 miles per hour, so its rate is 45. And the number of hours it went for, or its time, was in hours, so 45 times in. That represents the distance that the first car traveled. Now the second car has a rate of 60, but its time was 3 hours later than the other car. So however long the first car was traveling for, which was in, the second car is going to be 3 hours less. So I'm going to do n minus 3 to represent the time value of the second car. Now all I got to do is solve for n. Bring down my 45, n, distribute my 60 to get 60 n, distribute it here to get minus 180. Now I'm going to bring my 45 to this side through subtraction, so minus, so 60n minus the 45n coming over leaves me with 15n. And since there's going to end up being a 0 on this side, when I bring the 180 over to this side, I'm going to bring it over with a plus sign, so I will have a 0 plus 180, or 180 on this side. All I got to do now is divide both sides by 15. Make sure you use a calculator here. And we end up getting 12 hours. So n, which was the first car in hours, drove for 12 hours before it got caught by the second car. Now part A says how many hours does the second car have to drive. The time that's actually driven by the second car is expressed by n minus 3. So since n is 12 and I want to subtract 3 from that, I get the second car driving 9 hours. So it takes the second car 9 hours to catch up to the first car that's already been driving for 12 hours. So make sure you know which question you're actually answering. Part B, will the second car catch the first car before they arrive at their destination? Well, their destination is 520 miles away, and we know that the second car is driving for 9 hours at 60 miles per hour. So all I got to do is take 60 miles per hour, times it by 9 hours, and I get 540 miles. So the second car needs 540 miles of distance to catch up, but their destination is only 520 miles away. So the question is, will the second car catch up before arriving at the destination? The answer there is no, because it needs 540 miles of driving, and the distance they're driving is only 520. On our next example, we have a radio station that has 722 different promotional CDs to give away. Only 295 of the CDs are designed for individual distributions. The rest must be given away in sets of 3. So how many complete sets of 3 can be given away? Write and solve an equation that represents the situation and show a reasonable answer. Since the question is asking how many complete sets can be given away, I'm going to let C equal number of complete. Is it CDs? 3 sets of CDs. Now I know they have a total of 722, so the total CDs of 722 total is coming from single CDs given away, plus sets. And the sets are in groups of 3. So I go ahead and start substituting some information there. So total number is 722, and the number of singles that they can give away is 295, and the number of sets that they're going to give away, which is C, has 3 in each one. So the number of tickets they're given, or number of CDs they're giving away, will be 3 times C. So they're giving away C amount of sets, but each set has 3 CDs in it. Now I want to solve for C. So I'm going to bring my 295 over to this side by minusing. That leaves me with 427 on the left and 3C on the right. Now I want to divide by 3 on both sides, and I end up getting 140 142.3 repeating is my number of 3-disc sets. Now they did say show a reasonable answer. So the answer here would have to be 142 sets of 3. We can't go beyond 142 sets of 3 because that would take us more than 722 CDs that they're giving away. Next example, a new plasma screen TV costs $5,250. This is apparently an old plasma screen TV. A family makes a down payment of $552 and pays off the balance in 24 equal monthly payments. Write and solve an equation to find the monthly payment. So I'm going to go ahead and define M. M equals the monthly payment. So M equals the monthly payment. So they have a total cost, and that's going to equal their down payment. So down payment plus monthly payments. Okay, so what is their total payment? Well, they owe a total of $5,250, and their down payment is $552 plus however much they're going to pay each month for 24 months. So we know that they're going to pay M amount, and they're going to make 24 of those payments, so 24M. And all I got to do is solve for M. The first thing I'm going to do is minus the 552 over on this side. That leaves us with 4698 equaling 24 monthly payments. Divide both sides by 24, and we end up with a monthly payment of $195.75. And that should be their monthly payment for 24 equal months to pay off this plasma screen TV.